Good morning, viewers. Welcome to our today's lesson. So today we are going to discuss a topic called algebra. I want to welcome you all. My name is Tr.Priscilla. I hope that you are going to work together and you are going to learn from each other. So I need you to have a pen, a book, so that we can learn together. So our topic is algebra. So, and we are going to look at solving algebraic equations. So that is our subtopic today. So we'll start by stating our lesson objective. And our lesson objective is, by the end of the lesson, we should be able to solve algebraic equations with one unknown. So that is our objective. We hope that you are going to achieve it by the end of the lesson. So very good. So we are going to look, first of all, we are going to look at some terms here that really confuses people when you come to algebra. We know that algebra has many subtopics, but we are going to concentrate on one. So we are going to look to differentiate between algebraic equations and algebraic expressions. So let's see what is the difference between the two terms before we can. So we have algebraic expressions. An algebraic expression is a mathematical phrase containing letters and numbers. A mathematical phrase containing letters and numbers. For example, so we are talking of expressions. It's a mathematical phrase containing letters and numbers. For example, 2a plus 2b. This is a mathematical expression, or this is an algebraic expression. It has letters and it has numbers. So an algebraic expression does not have the equal signs. So because it doesn't have an equal sign, it means we cannot be able to solve it. We can only simplify. So algebraic expressions are not solved, they are only simplified. You can have another example of an expression, for example, 2a plus 2b plus maybe 3b plus 4. We have said we cannot solve them, we can only simplify them. So whereby we put the like terms together. Maybe here we are going to say we have 2a plus 2b plus 3b, we get 5b plus 4. We can't go beyond there, we can only simplify them. Then we look at algebraic equations. So what is an algebraic equation? An algebraic equation is a statement that has two mathematical expressions that are equal. So it's a mathematical statement with two mathematical expressions that are equal. For example, 2y plus 4 is equal to maybe 10. So these are two mathematical expressions that are equal. It means that this is expression number 1 and this is expression number 2, and they are equal. That's why we have the equal sign. So the difference between an expression and an equation is, for algebraic expressions, we can't solve them, and for the equations, we are able to solve them. So algebraic equations are solved and expressions are not solved. Algebra is a topic that is very examinable. We have an average of 4 to 5 questions brought every year in KCPE. So we are going to look at the KCPE exams for the last 10 years. We see what they have been doing. In all the years that they have brought the algebraic expressions, they have brought solving the equations, they have brought every year like an average of 4 questions in every exam. In year 2010, question number 22 was about solving equations. 2011, we had it was in question number 7. 2012 in question number 24. 2013 was in question number 17, all the way to 2015. 2015, they didn't test solving equations, they only tested other parts of algebra. 2016 question number 36, 2017 question number 18, and 2018 they tested in question number 11. So I want us specifically to look at 2019, that is last year. They brought 4 questions in algebra, and those questions, they followed each other. As you can see on your screen, that those questions followed each other, as from question number 22 to question number 25. All those questions involved algebra. So today we are going, so from there now, let's learn how to solve these algebraic equations. So we are going to look at how to solve these algebraic equations. So in our example number 1, I have a question. What is the value of t in the equation? Example number 1, 5 over 6t minus 7 is equal to 13. So we said for us to solve an algebraic equation, we need to find the value of the unknown. Remember, these are 2 expressions that are equal. So we need to find the value of this t so that we can balance our equation. So to find that, first of all, this is a fraction, this is a whole number, and this is a whole number. So we take this whole number to the other side. In algebra, the number carries the sign in front of it. So it goes with the sign. So when I'm moving it to the other side, I'm going to go with the sign. And when a sign closes the equal sign, it changes to the opposite. So that means if I had addition, when it goes to the other side, or when it closes over the equal sign, it is going to be minus, that is negative. If I have a negative sign, that is minus, it closes the equal sign, go to the other side, it is going to be positive. So this 7, I'll take it to the other side, and I'm going to have 13 plus 7. And this side I remain with 5 over 6t. 13 plus 7, I get a 20. And then 5 over 6t. I want to get the value of t. To get the value of t, this is a fraction, 5 over 6. So I want to remain with t on this side so that I can have the value of that t on the other side. So on this side, I'm going to remove this fraction by multiplying by the reciprocal. If you multiply by the reciprocal, whatever you do on this side, you do it on the other side. So this side you multiply by 6 over 5. And then from there now you simplify by 6, 1, 6 by 6, 1, 5 divided by 5 is 1, 5 by 5, 1. So on this side I remain with t is equal to by 5, 1 by 5. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 4 times 6, I get a 24. So meaning the value of our t is 24. If you want to prove that this side and this side were equal, you just come and put your you substitute. Where we have t, you put 24. That is, if I take 5 over 6, the value of t is 24. Then I come and multiply by 24. I should get 13. Oh, after I subtract 7, I should get 13. So by 6, 1, by 6, 4. 5 times 4 is 20, minus 7, I should get 13. So 20 minus 7 is 13, is equal to 13. So it is an equation that is equal. That's why we have the equal sign. So with that now, pupils, you can be able to prove whether your answer is correct. So we look at another example. Example number 2. Find the value of x in the following equation. Find the value of x in the following equation. Equation number 2. I have 8 bracket 2x plus 1 bracket minus 3 is equal to 21. In such a situation, you're supposed to open up the bracket. You open up the bracket first. So this is a bracket and I'm supposed to multiply by 8. So what is inside the bracket? Multiply by 8. That means I'm going to take 2x times 8, then 1 times 8. 2x times 8 plus 1 times 8. That was a bracket. Minus 3 is equal to 21. 2x times 8, I'm going to get 16x plus 8 minus 3 is equal to 21. Anytime you're solving algebraic equations, make sure that you don't forget the letters. So I have 16x plus 8 minus 3, I get 5, is equal to 21. Then I take this positive 5 to the other side of the bracket, to the other side of the equal sign. So when it crosses the other side, or when it goes to the other side, we change this sign to the opposite of plus, or to the negative of positive to negative. So we'll get 21 minus 5. And this side I remain with 16x. So 21 minus 5, I get 16, and this side I have 16x. I want to get the value of x. So I divide both sides by 16. So the value of my x is going to be by 16, 1 by 16, 1. This is 1 over 1, which is the same as 1. So the value of my x is 1. So I want to tell myself, I hope you are together. We look at another example. What is the value of n in the equation? So you're going to do another one. The value of n. What is the value of n in the equation? And the equation is 3n over 10 plus 2n over 5 is equal to 21. What is the value of n in that equation? So if you look at our equation, we have two fractions and we have a whole number. So we can't solve it when you have a fraction and you have a whole number. So you have to make all the numbers to be the same. So that means this 21, we are going to put it over 1 to make it a fraction. Any number divided by 1, it doesn't change. So we look for the LCM of 10 and 5. The LCM of 10 and 5 is 5. So we get the LCM. You can get the LCM here. And this is how we get the LCM. So the LCM of 10 and 5, we use prime numbers. So by 2 we get 5. We get 5. Then by 2 again we get 1, 1. By 5, sorry, we get 1, 1. So our LCM is going to be 2 times 5, which is 10. So that is now our LCM. We are going to use it. When you get the LCM, you multiply each fraction with the or by the LCM. So I get 3n over 10 times the LCM plus 2n over 5 times the LCM is equal to 21 over 1 times 10. From there we simplify. By 5, 1, by 5, 2. So 3 times 1, 3n times 1, we get 3n plus 2n times 2, we get 4n is equal to 210. So we add this, 3n plus 4n, we get 7n is equal to 210. So I want to remain with n, so I divide by 7, the other side by 7. So by 7, 1, 1. By 7, 1, by 7, 30. N is equals to 30. So the value of our n is 30. So in such a case, pupils, before you solve it, ensure you get the LCM and multiply all the fractions by the LCM. And then from there, you can be able to solve such a question. So I want us to do another example that is a bit different from what we have done already. Example number 4. Example number 4, we are told, find the value of P in the equation. Find the value of P in the equation. And the equation is P over 3 plus a half bracket P plus 1 is equal to 5. We are told to get the value of P in that equation. To get the value of P, remember here we have a bracket in between, so we have to open up first so that we can be able to solve. So this is going to remain the way it is as P over 3 plus a half times P, we get a half P plus a half times 1, we get a half, is equal to 5. From there we add what we have. Here I have P over 3. P over 3 is the same as a third P. So a third P plus a half P, and then we have plus a half. So we put this one together. That is a third P plus a half P. So when we add this, we get the LCM of 3 and 2. The LCM of 3 and 2 is 6. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 2 times 1 we get 2 plus 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 times 1 we get 3. So 2 times 3 we get 5 over 6P. So we go back to our equation. So this one, 5 over 6, is going to replace P over 3 plus a half. So I'm going to write 5 over 6P plus a half is equal to 5. Then this fraction, I take it to the other side because it doesn't have an unknown. I take it to the other side so that I can subtract it. This is plus a half. When it goes to the other side, it is going to be 5 minus a half. And this side I remain with 5 over 6P. So 5 minus a half, I'm going to get 4 and a half. 5/6p. So I want to remove the value, I want to get the value of p, so I'm going to remove this fraction on this side, from this side, so that I can have p on this side, and then I can have its value on the other side. So I get 5/6p. I multiply by the reciprocal. Because I can't use, I want to remove this, so I use the reciprocal of 5/6. I get 6/5 on the other side. 4.5 times 6/5. By 5, 1, by 5, 1, by 6, 1, by 6, 1. So the value of my p so I have simplified here. I have p is equal to 4.5 times 6/5. So this is a mixed fraction. I change it to an improper fraction so that now I can go to solve it. 4, to change to an improper fraction, you take the whole number times the denominator, then plus the numerator. So it is 4 times 2, we get 8, plus 1, we get 9. 9/2 times 6/5. By 2, 1, by 2, 3. 9 times 3, we get 27/5. That is the value of our p. So we can't leave our answer as an improper fraction. We have to change into a mixed fraction. So we'll take 27, we divide by 5. 5 will go to 27 5 times because of 25. I subtract, I get 2. So when we get this, then this number here becomes our whole number. And then 2 is going to be our numerator when we are forming our fraction. And then 5 is going to be our denominator. So don't confuse the numbers after you have gotten it. So we are going to have 5 as our whole number, then 2/5. So the value of our p is going to be 5/2. That is the answer for the value of p. Very good. Another example. Example 5. Example 5, you're told find, or you have a question that says find the value of x in 3 bracket x plus 2 over 4 minus 4 is equal to x minus 8 over 4. Find the value of x. Find the value of 4. So as you can see, we have this is a fraction, a whole number, and a fraction. So we make this whole number to be like the others. So we make it a fraction. So by making it a fraction, I mean we put it over 1. Then we get the LCM of 4 and 1. So they are the same. So meaning I'm going to multiply all the fractions by 4. Before that, we open up here. So x times 3, we get 3x plus 2 times 3, we get 6 over 4 minus 4 over 1 is equal to x minus 8 over 4. All the fractions now, we multiply by the LCM. So this one, you can put your own brackets, multiply by 4. Then this one by 4. The other fraction, we multiply by 4. By 4, 1. By 4, 1. By 4, 1. By 4, 1. This one we can't simplify because this is 1. Then from there now we open up the bracket. 3x times 1, we're going to get 3x plus 6 times 1, we get 6. Here we have a sign that is minus. 4 times 4, we get 16 is equal to 1 times x. I get an x, that is x minus 1 times 8, I get 8. From there now, after you have opened up the bracket, you collect the like terms. So you collect the like terms. So that is putting the like terms together. So one thing that we should remember, we don't move big numbers. We move the small numbers. So that is easier. We don't move the big numbers, we move the small numbers. So if you look at these ones, we have negative 8 on this side, I have negative 16, and I have plus 6. So when I move this negative 16 to the other side, or when it closes the equal signs, it is going to become a big number. So it is easier to move this negative 16 and plus 6. So, and then this x, I move it to the other side, it's going to be minus x. So that means I'll have 3x. I'm going to bring this to the other side. I'll have minus x is equal to, I have minus 8. So this minus 16, when it goes to the other side of the equal sign, I'll have 16. Then I can put my minus 8. This is plus 6. When it closes the equal sign, I'll have it as minus 6. 3x minus x, I'm going to have 2x. 16 minus 8, I get 8. 8 take away 6, I get 2. Then we get the value of x. We divide both sides by 2. By 2, 1, by 2, 1. So the value of my x is going to be 1. So I hope we are together. So from there, so those are some of the examples that we can do. So from there, we can look at some KCP questions for the last like 3 years. We see what they have been setting in about solving equations. So we are going to start with last year's exam, that is KCP 2019. In question number 25, they tested solving algebraic equations. That is 2019, KCP 2019. And the question was, what is the value of x in the equation? What is the value of x in the equation? And the equation was 3/5 bracket 2x plus 2 minus 1 is equal to 5. Three-fifths bracket 2x plus 2 minus 1 is equal to 5. So what are we supposed to do? First of all, we open up the bracket. And to open up what is inside the bracket, you multiply by what is outside. That means I'll take 2x, I multiply by 3/5 plus 2 times 3/5 minus 1 is equal to 5. 2x times 3, I'm going to get 6x over 5 plus 2 times 3, I also get 6 over 5 minus 1 is equal to 5. So you can see here I have two fractions and then I have a whole number. So first of all, I can take this whole number to the other side. So now we are collecting the like terms. So if I take it to the other side, this sign is going to change to the opposite. So I'm going to have 5 plus 1. I have 6 over 5, which is positive 2. When I take it to the other side, it's going to be plus 6 over 5. Over 5x. So let's try to solve this. 6 plus 1, 5 plus 1 is 6. And then this 6 over 5 is the same as 1 over 5. So this side still I have 6 over 5x. So you add this 6 plus 1, we get 7, and then a fifth. So we have 7 and a fifth. This side I have 6 over 5x. We want to get the value of x. So we multiply by the reciprocal here, 5 over 6. The other side, 5 over 6. So by 5, 1, by 5, 1, by 6, 1, by 6, 1. So this side I have remaining with x. So x, so x is equal to 7 and a fifth times 5 over 6. So this 7 and a fifth, we change it to an improper fraction. So 7 times 5 plus 1. 7 times 5 is 35 plus 1, we get 36 over 5 times 5 over 6. So from there now we try to simplify. We can simplify this by 5, 1, by 5, 1, by 6, 1, by 6, 6. So the value of our x is going to be 6. So and that was the question. The question was you find the value of x, and we have gotten our x. So that is the value of x. 2018, we had a similar question. In question number 11, and they asked, well, the question was, what was the value of n? What was the value of n in the equation? So this was year 2018, question number 11. 5n plus 3 bracket n minus 4 is equal to 36. So we are looking for the value of n. For us to get the value of n, you can see we have a bracket inside here, so we have to open it up first. So we copy down what we have, 5n plus, here we open up, n times 3, we get 3n, then minus 4 again times 3, we get 12, is equal to 36. This is minus 12. I take it to the other side. When it closes over, it's going to be 36. It changes to positive. So I have 5n plus 3n. So we add this together, we get 8n is equal to 36 plus 12. You're going to have 48. To get the value of n, I divide by 8 on both sides. So that I want to remove this 8 by 8, 1, by 8, 1. So n is going to be by 8, 1, by 8, 6. So the value of our n is 6. You can see algebra is a subject or a lesson that, a topic that all of us can be able to get the correct answer. 2017, we still have another question there for 2017. The question was, what is the value of x in the equation? What is the value of x in the equation? 2, that is 2017 or 2018. 2 bracket x plus 3 plus a half x plus 1 is equal to 116. So let's see how we are going to solve this one, or how we were supposed to do it. So with a bracket, the first thing to do is to open it up. So we open up the bracket. What is inside? Multiply by what is outside. So we are going to have 2 times x, 2 times x plus 3 times 6 plus a half x times 2 plus 1 times 2 is equal to 116. 2 times x, we get 2x plus 3 times 6, we get 18 plus half x times 2. Here we can simplify by 2, 1 by 2, 1. So 1 times 1 is 1, so we get x plus 1 times 2 is equal to 116. So when you open after that, now we have an equation already. We collect the like terms, we put the like terms together. I have 2x, and then I have plus x, I have plus 18 plus 2 is equal to 116. Higher, you add this. This is 2x plus x. I get 3x plus 18 plus 2. I get 20 is equal to 116. Yes. Sorry. Let's go back a bit. 2 times x, 2 times x plus, this is 3, I multiply by 2 plus a half x times 2 plus 1 times 2 should give us 116. So we put this together. 2 times x, we get 2x plus 3 times 2, we get 6 plus by 2, 1 by 2, 1. So here we are going to get what? An x plus 1 times 2 is equal to 116. Then from there we collect the like terms. 2x plus x plus 6 plus 2 is equal to 116. So here we get 3x plus 6 plus 2 is 8 is equal to 116. So this is plus 8. I take it to the other side. I'm going to have 116 minus 8, and this side I remain with 3x. So 3x is equal to 116 minus 8, I get 108. After I get the 108, now we get the value of x by dividing both sides by 3. By 3, 1. By 3, 9 because of 3, remainder 1, 18 because of 6. So x is equal to 36. So if you substitute x here, you should get 36. And using 36 on this side, you're supposed to get 116. So that was question number 18 for 2017. So we are going to look at the last example, that is KCP 2016. KCP 2016 is going to be our last example. KCP 2016. The question was, that is question number 36. The question was, what is the value of x? What is the value of x in the equation? And the equation was x over 4 x over 4 plus, so x over 4 plus x minus 3 over 2 is equal to 3. So we are supposed to get the value of x. So we make this number here to be a fraction. We put it over 1. So from there we get the LCM of 4 and 2. So the LCM of 4 and 2. That is 4, 2, and 1 actually. So the LCM here, we divide by 2, use prime numbers. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. We use 2 again. 2 by 2 is 1. 1 by 2 is 1. So our LCM is going to be 2 times 2, which is 4. So that 4, I'm going to use it to remove the denominators. So I'll take x over 4 times 4 plus x minus 3 over 2 times 4. So let's use a bracket here. Our times 4 is equal to 3 over 1 times 4. By 4, 1. By 4, 1. By 2, 1. By 2, 2. X times 1, we get x, plus 2 times x, we get 2x. The sign is minus. 2 times 3, we get 6, is equal to 3 times 4, which is 12. From there, we can now put the like terms together. X plus 2x, we get 3x minus 6 is equal to 12. I remove this 6 by taking it to the other side. I get 12 plus 6 is equal to 3x. I want to get the value of x. So I divide by 3 on both sides. Before we divide, we add first. 12 plus 6 is 18. And this side is 3x, so I divide by 3 on the other side. So by 3, 1, by 3, 6. So x is equal to 6. So the value of our x is 6. So we have seen how to get the values of different equations, and I hope that we have understood, and we will be able to do the same if it is brought in the exam. So remember, in algebra, what you are required to remember is that when you take a number to the other side of the equal sign, the sign changes to the opposite. The sign changes to the opposite of that sign, and then the sign will always appear before the number. For example, if it is this number here, this fraction that is here, this sign belongs to this fraction. So a sign will always appear before the number. And lastly, remember to take the sign together with the number when you are taking it to the other side of the equal sign. So, and with that, you will be able to calculate and get the values of the unknown. So I hope you have all enjoyed the lesson and we have understood, and you can be able to follow up. Now I want to check some questions here, 1 or 2. Somebody is asking a question here. 5 over 6x plus 2. So we can help the person solve this as we wind up. So So very first, 5 over 6x, 5/6 x plus 2 bracket 9 minus 10 is equal to 28. So we are going to do it just like the way we have done the others. So here we have a bracket. So we need to open it up first. So this fraction, we copy it down just the way it is. X plus 9 times 2, we are going to get 18. This sign is going to remain. Then 10 times 2, we get 20, is equal to 28. From there now we collect the like terms. This is positive 18 and we have negative 18. We take them to the other side where we have the numbers. So 28. So when this positive 18 or this plus 18 goes to the other side of the equal sign, we are going to have minus 18. This is 20. When it goes to the other side, we are going to have it as plus 20. So 5, and then this side we remain with 5x, 5 over 6x. So if you look here, at this, we have a mixture of addition and subtraction. When we are doing board mass, we start with addition first. So you're going to arrange this one again according to board mass, because addition should come first, should come before subtraction. So we are going to have 28 plus 20 minus 18. So we remain with 5 over 6x. It is not changing. We add this 28 plus 20, we get 48. Then 48 we less 18. We are going to get what? We get 30, and this is 5 over 6x. So we get the value of x. To get it, we multiply both sides by the reciprocal here, 6 over 5. The other side by 6 over 5. By 6, 1, by 6, 1. By 5, 1, by 5, 1. Then by 5, 1, by 5, 6. So x is going to be 6 times 6, which is 36. So the value of our x here is 36. I hope you have have answered your question. Then someone is asking of example 4. Example 4. I really don't know whether it is the KCP question or it is... Okay. Revision question, the question that you are doing first, example number 4. We can do it again for the sake of this person. So let's try help him or how. P over 3. So the question was, find the value of P in the equation. And the equation was P over 3 plus a half bracket P plus 1 is equal to 5. So you open up the bracket here. So this P over 3 is going to remain, plus I take a half, I multiply by P, plus 1 times a half. 1 times a half. Like that. Plus 5. So we have P over 3 plus a half now times P. We get a half P. Plus 1 times a half, we get a half. So this was equal, is equal to 5. From there now we put the like terms together. P over 3 is the same as a third P. So we take a third P plus a half P. First of all, we add this part where we have the unknown, the letters, that is. We get the LCM of the denominators, 3 and 2, and the LCM of 3 and 2 is 6. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. 2 times 1, we get 2P plus 6 divided by 2 is 3, times 1, we get 3. 3P. Then we add here 2p plus 3p, we get 5p over 6. Now we have solved this part. So 5 over 6p plus a half is equal to 5. I take this part, a half, to the other side. I'm going to have 5 minus a half is equal to 5 over 6p. When you subtract here 5 minus a half, you remove it from 5. You're going to remain with 4 and a half. And then this side I have 5 over 6p. I hope you're together. 5 over 6p is equal to 4 and a half. So we can start by changing this number first into an improper fraction, even before we get the value of p. So to get it as an improper fraction, we take the whole number times the denominator. The answer we add to 1. So 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 1, we get 9 over 2. So 5 over 6p is equal to 9 over 2. I want to get the value of p. I multiply by the reciprocal here, 6 over 5. The other side by 6 over 5. By 6, 1. By 6, 1. By 5, 1. By 5, 1. So here we can simplify this and this by 2, 1. By 2, 3. So the value of p is going to be 9 times 3, we get 27, over 1 times 5, we get 5. So the answer that you have gotten here is an improper fraction. It's an improper fraction. So we can't leave our answer in this form. So we change it to a mixed fraction. So we are going to take 27. 27 we divide by 5. 5 will go to 27 5 times because of 25. And then we subtract. 7 take away 5 is 2. So when we get this, some people get confused. They really don't know what to write. So this number here on top is going to be our whole number. And this 2 here is going to be our numerator when we are forming the fraction. And then this 5 is going to be our denominator. So with that, now we'll just come down and copy. So our value of p is going to be 5, our whole number, 5. Then 2, we form a fraction, 2 over 5. So the value of p is going to be 5 to 5. So I hope you have all enjoyed, and those people who had questions, I'll be able to answer them. For the others, thank you for watching, and thank you for following us. Continue following us in KU TV every day for various lessons. Have a good day.